Have you ever felt that heart-wrenching pain when your twin flame seems to vanish into thin air, leaving your messages unread and your heart in pieces? Well, I know exactly how that feels. And today, I want to have conversation with you about this challenging phase of your journey. You know, it's funny how the universe works sometimes. Just when we think we've found our perfect match, our divine counterpart, they seem to slip through our fingers like grains of sand. The silence from your twin flame can feel deafening, especially after you've gathered the courage to express your feelings. It's like standing in front of a mirror that suddenly goes dark, leaving you wondering if you've somehow imagined the whole connection. But here's the thing, what you're experiencing right now isn't a sign of failure or a dead end. In fact, it's quite the opposite. This period of silence and seeming disconnection is actually one of the most powerful catalysts for transformation on your twin flame journey. Having witnessed twin flame journeys, I can tell you with absolute certainty that this phase, while incredibly challenging, holds the seeds of profound personal and spiritual growth. Whether you're dealing with unanswered texts, social media silence, or complete radio silence, there's so much more happening beneath the surface than meets the eye. Well, let's explore why this is happening and what you can do to not just survive this phase, but actually thrive through it. You know that moment when you're standing in front of a mirror in a dimly lit room and suddenly your reflection seems almost foreign to you? That's exactly what happens when a twin flame goes into runner mode. It's not about running from you, it's about running from that intense reflection of themselves they see in you. The runner's paradise is actually their own personal purgatory. When we're faced with something so pure, so authentically reflective of our deepest truths, our first instinct is often to look away. It's like when you first wake up and someone suddenly turns on all the lights. You instinctively shield your eyes, right? Mostly, your twin flame's silence isn't rejection, it's protection. But here's the fascinating paradox. They're trying to protect themselves from the very thing that could heal them. It's like having a splinter and being too afraid of the momentary pain of removing it. So you leave it there, letting it create deeper inflammation. The intensity of a twin flame connection is like holding up a cosmic mirror that shows not just your reflection, but every single past life, every wound, every beautiful possibility. And that's terrifying for someone who isn't ready to face their own depth. The runner isn't running because they don't care. They're running because they care too much. It's like standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. The view is breathtaking, but the depth can be paralyzing. Your twin flame is experiencing what I call spiritual vertigo, the overwhelming sensation of being confronted with the infinite nature of your connection. In the silence of their running, they're actually doing important internal work. From the outside, it looks like nothing's happening, but inside, there's an incredible transformation taking place. Your twin needs the space to process the magnitude of what they're feeling, to reconcile their 3D understanding with this 5D connection that defies all logical explanation. In the twin flame journey, what looks like distance is often just a different form of closeness. Even in their running, they're connected to you, processing you, dealing with the awakening you've triggered in them. It's like two planets in orbit. Sometimes they appear to be moving away from each other, but they're always connected by an invisible gravitational force that keeps them in perfect cosmic dance. The mystery isn't in why they're running. It's in how this running is actually bringing you both closer to your authentic selves, even when it feels like you're worlds apart. You know that feeling when you're trying to catch a butterfly? The more desperately you swing your net, the more gracefully it dances away from you. There's a profound wisdom in nature that teaches us about the delicate art of allowing rather than forcing. And nowhere is this more evident than in the sacred dance of twin flame dynamics. Once, in an interaction with a woman, I witnessed her transformation from a desperate hunter to a sovereign being. She told me, "It feels like I'm dying inside every time I reach out and he doesn't respond." And you know what? That feeling of dying was actually the death of her ego's need to control the uncontrollable. The universe has an exquisite sense of irony. The moment we stop trying to make things happen is often the moment they naturally begin to unfold. What happens during the chase phase of a twin flame relationship? The more you chase, the more you energetically push your twin away, creating what I call the cosmic rubber band effect. The harder you pull, the stronger the resistance becomes. Your desperate seeking actually creates an energetic interference that blocks what's naturally trying to find its way to you. It's like trying to hear a whisper while shouting. The universe speaks in subtle frequencies, and sometimes our loud desperation drowns out its gentle guidance. Consider this: your twin flame isn't actually running from you. They're running from the overwhelming intensity of the connection itself, and your chasing amplifies that intensity to unbearable levels. It's like trying to help someone who's drowning by jumping into their panic. You both end up struggling in the water. Instead, you need to be the steady presence on the shore, strong and centered, ready to help when they're ready to swim towards you. This is where the real spiritual alchemy happens. When you stop chasing, you create a vacuum, a sacred space that allows divine timing to work its magic. It's in this space that both you and your twin can breathe, heal, and naturally gravitate back toward each other. Not because either of you is pushing or pulling, but because that's the natural order of things. And here's the beautiful paradox. The moment you truly let go of the need to chase is often the moment your twin feels safe enough to turn around and face the connection, because in that moment, you've mastered one of the most profound spiritual lessons of the twin flame journey. Unconditional love means loving yourself enough to stop demanding love from another. Remember, dear one, you're not giving up by stopping the chase. You're giving space for something far more beautiful to emerge. You're not losing connection. You're allowing it to find its natural rhythm. In the grand symphony of the universe, sometimes the most powerful move is to simply stop moving and let the music move through you. You know that moment when you're holding your breath underwater and everything in your body screams for air. That split second when you finally surrender and float to the surface is exactly what the twin flame surrender feels like. It's terrifying and liberating all at once. Let me take you deeper into this profound paradox of letting go while staying eternally connected. There's a beautiful Rumi quote that captures this perfectly. Love said to me, "There's nothing that is not me. Be silent." And in that silence, in that sacred space of surrender, something magical begins to happen. Surrender in the twin flame journey isn't about giving up. It's about giving in to a higher wisdom. Imagine you're in a river, swimming against the current. You're strong, determined, and you believe that if you just try hard enough, you can make it upstream. But the river of divine timing has its own flow, its own wisdom. Surrender is the moment you realize that floating with the current might actually take you exactly where you need to be. It's about trusting that the universe has a plan that's far more magnificent than anything your limited human perspective can conceive. This is where the real alchemy happens. When you truly surrender, you're not just letting go of control. You're letting go of the person you thought you needed to be to maintain this connection. You're releasing the fear-based identity that believes love must be chased, earned, or proven. In this space of surrender, you begin to discover parts of yourself that were hidden beneath all that striving and chasing. The mystery of surrender lies in its seeming contradiction. How can letting go bring you closer? But that's exactly what happens. When you stop trying to force the connection into your timeline, your expectations, your needs, you create space for it to exist in its truest, most authentic form. It's like finally taking off a mask you've been wearing for so long, you forgot it wasn't your real face. And here's the most beautiful part. In this space of surrender, you're actually more connected to your twin flame than ever before, because now you're operating from your highest self, your most authentic being. You're no longer trying to manipulate the connection, but allowing it to be what it truly is, a catalyst for your own spiritual evolution. Remember, dear one, surrender isn't weakness. It's the ultimate act of spiritual strength. It's saying to the universe, I trust in the perfection of this connection, enough to let it unfold in its own divine timing. And in that trust, in that letting go, you find a peace that no amount of external validation could ever provide. Have you ever watched a diamond being formed? Deep in the earth's embrace, under immense pressure and heat, a simple piece of carbon transforms into something extraordinary. This is exactly what happens during the twin flame separation phase. What seems like unbearable pressure is actually a divine transformation in progress. The silence from your twin flame isn't really about them at all. It's the universe's most elegant way of turning your attention back to the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. Think about it like this. When you're in a dark room and someone suddenly turns off the last remaining light, your eyes don't immediately adjust. But in that darkness, your other senses become heightened, more attuned, more aware. This is what happens when your twin flame steps back. All your spiritual senses begin to awaken. This is where the real magic happens, dear ones. In the space where their absence feels most acute, you begin to discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. It's like cleaning out an attic you've ignored for years. At first, it's overwhelming, dusty, and you might find things that make you cry. But as you sort through each item, each memory, each wound, you begin to create space for something new. The silence from your twin flame creates a vacuum that can only be filled with self-discovery and profound healing. Think of yourself as a garden that's been overshadowed by a large tree. When that tree, your focus on your twin flame, is temporarily removed, suddenly there's space for new flowers to bloom. Talents you didn't know you had, dreams you'd forgotten about, strength you never knew you possessed. This isn't just personal growth, it's spiritual alchemy of the highest order. And here's the most beautiful part of this journey back to self. As you begin to fill your own cup, as you learn to dance with your own shadow, as you begin to love the parts of yourself that you once thought were unlovable, something miraculous happens. The energy you once spent reaching outward begins to circulate within, creating a magnetic field of self-love so powerful that it affects not just you, but your twin flame as well. Remember, you're energetically connected. Every step you take in your own healing journey creates ripples that reach them, whether they're consciously aware of it or not. This is the sacred paradox of the twin flame journey. The further you go into yourself, the closer you actually come to union. Not the fantasy union your ego might have imagined, but something far more profound. A union that begins within and radiates outward, transforming everything it touches. In conclusion, navigating the challenging waters of twin flame separation requires deep wisdom, patience, and most importantly, self-love. Remember that this intense period of silence and seeming disconnection serves a greater purpose in your spiritual journey. It's not about losing your twin flame forever, but rather about finding yourself in the process. Let's be real, it hurts when someone you share such a profound connection with seems to be ignoring you. But here's the beautiful truth. Instead of viewing this phase as punishment or rejection, see it as a divine invitation to dive deeper into your own healing and growth. The key is to redirect all that loving energy you've been sending outward and turn it inward instead. Focus on nurturing yourself, healing old wounds, and becoming the best version of you. Trust that if this is truly your twin flame, no amount of silence can break your soul connection. The universe has perfect timing, and sometimes what feels like ignoring is actually creating space for both souls to align at the right moment. Remember, love isn't about chasing or forcing connection. It's about allowing and trusting. When you finally stop looking for signs and surrender to divine timing, that's often when the magic happens. Your twin flame journey isn't about the destination of reunion. It's about the beautiful transformation that happens along the way.